Hey, Segovia, back with another one. Take 25. Jeez, I've been trying this all day. Today's episode, we got mysterious videos deleted from TikTok. Let's try to get into it today, y'all. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
You guys, the plot is thickening big time. Candace Owens just
That's
dropped a
better.
bunch of information on her Instagram stories. I think we should debrief. She starts off with, I want to break this news immediately because it feels important, and I think if I don't break it immediately, something bad might happen. I hope I have earned the trust enough of the people to believe me when I say that I have verified this information but cannot reveal the source. Tyler Robinson is not, I can't say that next word on here. The entire narrative that was placed in the media about him having been blank is completely fictional, as are many other aspects of what we have been told. His father having turned him in after a confession is also complete fiction. To the contrary, Tyler Robinson maintains his innocence and has never even been to the UVU campus. There are absolutely zero photos or videos that the campus can produce to the contrary. Which is true. We have not seen videos, pictures of Tyler on the roof, on the campus, nothing. She goes on to say, which is why they have produced nothing other than a blurry image which Tyler's family knows is not him. Tyler has never once expressed a blank thought. I want to make that clear. The federal government is lying about absolutely everything other than the fact that it is his weapon. I don't really care what your perspective is on politics or where you stand with Candace Owens. But what we are being fed via the news feels very false. There isn't enough information. We're not seeing actual evidence. And the story doesn't make sense. Candace is right on harping on the fact that why isn't there any video footage of Tyler on the roof of a campus building or on the campus in general? All the feds essentially have are these really made up text messages where Tyler spells out every single thing he did that matches perfectly to the feds' description of what happened that day. Feds never took firsthand accounts when people were trying to report to them what they saw happen when they were there witnessing everything. I want to know why we haven't heard anything from Tyler's family. Not a cousin, not a far-off family member. It's like nobody is speaking to the public, which is very strange to me. Anyways, I will be covering Candace's episode tonight, so follow for more.
Just shift up there because it looks like I've added a girlfriend to my collection, ladies and gentlemen. There's a room for both of us in here. Are you sure?
Yes. She wants to stay in London.
She wants to stay. I've got myself a girlfriend. Wow. It's one of my girlfriends. So she has something to say back, which is...
This is my boyfriend.
Oh, so she said it. She said it, you see. First of all, ladies and gentlemen, I must tell you that it would appear that I've been adopted by my friend here, who has not left me alone all day and doesn't look like she's going to leave me alone all night.
This clip shows JS calling children his girlfriend, and even gets a little girl to call him boyfriend. At the time, this was played off as harmless banter, but after his death in 2011, investigations revealed decades of abuse. Over 400 victims came forward, with ages ranging as young as 5. Many people now look back at old footage and look at this in a very different light. Was this just hiding in plain sight all along, or just seen differently back then? Let me know your thoughts and comments below.
We have been deceived, and I'm going to prove it to you right now. So we have a 3.5 acre surface area pond here. It's about 25 foot deep. We dug this hole and we used the material that was here to build our homestead up to keep it out of the flood zone. And when we first turned off the pumps and the water started filling up this hole, it was red clay and sand. When the water came in, it was just red water that had no oxygen and could not support life. So I went to the local slough and I grabbed a bunch of water hyacinth, knowing that this plant is a filter feeder, right? It filters the water. That's a filter right there. And we threw the water hyacinth in, and a bunch of people started yelling at me saying, Jim, this is an invasive plant and it will destroy your pond. I said, I will take responsibility for that. Let's see what happens. Within 18 months, the water hyacinth had covered about 20% of the pond. It grew thousands and thousands of times its original mass. Like it started with that, and pretty soon it covered about an acre of this pond. I then actually noticed that the water was more clear than it had been, like a lot more clear. And I noticed that there was some life in the pond. So we took the water hyacinth from the sides and we stacked it. It was almost a foot deep in some places along the edge of the pond. And as it decomposed, it created soil, which is now the foundation of a lot of these plants here. And here's the best part. what we left in the pond was probably 1,000 times more than what I originally started with, one little patch. And instead of continuing to grow, it actually died back. Why? Because it did its job. It cleaned the pond. Now, the poison producers would like you to believe that if you don't spray poisons on them, on this water hyacinth, this plant, that it is going to destroy everything. The act of spraying poisons on the plant kills the plant, and then as it decomposes, those particulates go into the water, which creates the need for water hyacinth to come back in and clean the pond. So killing, spraying, vaccinating, using chemicals for profit, patented chemicals on anything is the exact opposite of what we need to be doing. It's time to observe and interact and be the stewards of our land again, and let the dandelions grow. Let the water hyacinth do its job, and then use that resource to build soil and build health back into the system.
If you've got stuff you'd like to gather, obviously I'm more than willing to talk through what you're able to take with you.
What, you're taking me away now?
Yes, so you're under arrest, so you're going to Harrogate, unfortunately.
You're taking me to Harrogate in the middle of the night over a tweet?
I am, unfortunately.
Is this what you signed up the police to do?
This is my role. I'm trying to be reasonable with you here.
So
if there's stuff you'd like to gather, I'm more than willing to allow you to gather some sort of stuff like medication, if you've got any numbers you need. But at the moment,
you join the police to go and arrest people at night for tweets online.
Do you need any medication? I can't imagine that you are going to be in very long, but do you need any medication that you take at night?
No.
No. Do you need anything else you can think of? Wallet? Do you want to change your shoes or out?
I'd like to put some shoes on if that's alright with you.
Of course it is.
Righty, huh?
We will give you a search here.
Search? What?
Yeah, just to make sure there's nothing in your pocket that you can harm yourself with whilst you're being transported in the van. We're going to do it in here rather than outside so all your neighbours can go.
Oh, fill your boots, mate. I'm good. You do understand that I'm going to make a maximum fuss about this free speech union.
Yeah, absolutely.
You guys just doing your jobs, obviously, but your dickhead bosses have just opened up a world of shit.
Trust me, if I didn't have to be here, I wouldn't have been. But I'm happy to give you...
I'm quite certain you two have got like 50 better things to do. Because what's your patch? Your Harrogate, Northallerton...
We're referred to as Hambleton. So
yeah.
We're also Harrogate District.
Yeah.
So
but of course, the police they're not going to be able to credibly tell anybody that they're under-resourced now if they're sending people out to arrest people for tweets. Well, it's no point us debating it, is it? It's your dickhead bosses. Could you... right, just a sec. Would you...
We'll be taking that first, unfortunately.
Right, okay. Well,
How much were you making on only...
In the span of like 4 years, I made about $4 million.
So $1 million a year?
Yeah.
Some months more, some months less?
Yeah.
And what did you have to do for that money?
It sounds so cliche, but pretty much sell my soul.
Well, like literally, what did you have to do? Just show yourself kid? Did you have to
It was more than that. It was normally with my boyfriends that I was dating, or like tapes with other girls. That was really big. I made a lot of friends in that industry, and guys love seeing girls on girls on girls. So that's really where I made a lot of my content was with other girls, or was with my boyfriends.
What would you say to women listening and they're willing to do only, or they're doing it? What would you say to these people?
I think my advice to women would be like, just go to therapy and make sure that you're like mentally okay, because a lot of girls are suppressing, they are taking drugs, they are drinking, they are disassociating. So I would say take care of your mental health and go to therapy and see like what's actually going on, if this is something you truly enjoy or is this something you're trying to escape.
Have you ever been to Antarctica? Yeah. Do you believe in the ice wall? Well,
No, stop. The fact that he had to pause right there, he's like, oh, I can't say what I saw.
He's not joking there.
No, he's not. He just got caught up. He forgot the cameras are rolling for a second. He's like, oh, God in my God.
That's what I was just thinking too. You think they're beyond that ice wall?
I love it, I love it. Ooh. This is my girl. I have
so much fun with her. I love this song to death. Thank you so much, Angel, for coming and singing with me. Thank you for
Do you realize you have to pay for airspace now? You can't even fly in certain airspaces. Tyler Perry, I don't know if they swept this under the rug or not, but 2 years ago, he bought airspace and somebody flew in his airspace and he sued the people that flew in his airspace. How can you own air? So all the natural elements that we are comprised and made of, they're now charging for. So how can I charge you for sunlight? Kill the old sun, connect a sun stimulator to it, which is what they did during that false eclipse that we think was a natural eclipse. It was not natural at all, because right after that solar eclipse happened, the sun been different, the temperature of that sun been different, catastrophic events been happening, and there's plenty documented videos showing farmers, they mind is boggled because sunflowers that face the sun are turning their back on the sun. Cattle, hundreds of cattle's they under the trees. They not even out in the sun no more. Ducks and geese are not even flying towards the sun anymore. It's a natural phenomenon that's going on where all living biological entities is not doped up, not put in a slumber, not on alcohol and drugs, know that this sun is fake or they done put something on this sun. They running away from it.
The question I have is, I know you mentioned the blue light. How will this impact human beings, these fake suns?
It throws off your circadian rhythm. You're not supposed to be in these lights that much.
What? I'm about to drink a protein shake. Remember all the seeds when we were little in watermelon? You're about to go swimming, you got those black seeds. Back in the day.
NASA is considering nuking an asteroid that is heading towards Earth, and more precisely towards the moon. Oh, goody. Yeah, an asteroid has been spotted hurling towards Earth and on point to actually hit the moon. So what they've decided they're going to probably do at this point is go ahead and nuke that asteroid, because apparently the size of this asteroid can actually be a city killer, which is still huge and can cause major damage. But what happens if it hits the moon? They're saying if they don't act soon and actually just destroy this asteroid with a nuke, that it could be catastrophic and it can cause a lot of strange activity to happen on Earth. Things such as the ocean having gigantic up to 500-foot waves, things such as cities being flooded out completely and submerged underwater, potential effects on different animal life, and so on. Oh, good.
Yeah, not a dropout. Well, there goes fast food.
When are y'all gonna realize?
I mean, there goes fast food. They're already at drive-thrus. AI is taking your order. You talk to AI and they take your order. Now, if there's somebody on the microphone, because one time I asked, like, can I have known, or do you have this? And they picked up, like, no, we don't have that no more. So they're still there. It's not there yet. It's not there 100% yet, but it's getting there.
All your professional athletes, your elites, your Hollywood actors, your rappers, your musicians, your singers, your presidents, all of them worship Baal. You have football, baseball, basketball. Are you picking up what I'm putting down? Because I'm putting some shit down right now. Do you not see what's going on? The world is a stage. And all of them worship Baal, Satan, Lucifer, 33. They all worship Satan. You think that means I love you? Do it right in front of our faces and y'all don't even see it. Y'all need to wake up and see what's going on. The world is a stage. And the world is not run by girls like Beyonce says. The world is run by Baal, the devil, Lucifer. It's a big club and you're not in it. They all worship Satan.
Recently, Arizona had been getting hit with back-to-back flooding for about 2.5 months straight, and it seemed to slow down in the month of August, but now it's back with a vengeance, and this thing came in like a thief in the night and submerged homes and businesses, flooded whole towns and communities, y'all, and left cars in just peril. Look at this over here.
Oh my gosh.
Wow, those cars are totally gone. Imagine your family takes you out to eat for your birthday after a long work week and you get flooded out in the restaurant and you can't even leave because the water's causing so much pressure on the door. Look at this. You couldn't really tell if you were at the lake, at the water, or maybe at a gas station, and then you see some floating tanks that could possibly be trouble. There were no homes floating downstream this time, but cars definitely got stuck in the midst of the water, and whatever these things are, I believe they are water jugs, and it looks like the water's just pushing down with ease. So for 2.5 hours straight, rain was coming down, thunderstorms, and they even experienced some hell. Just when you think it couldn't get any wilder, you have hell there. It's flooding in the middle of the desert, and the lightning is off the charts. So y'all must not see what the radar was doing, but let me show y'all. But why does it look like a perfect sphere? Do y'all see that? What is this about? Y'all, let me tell you, in about 2.5 hours, parts of Arizona was completely underwater. These cows, unfortunately, got stuck within the flooding as well. I believe they make it out on the other side. But yeah, these animals ain't safe from this either. Now, check this out over here. This right here is a whole golf course. A whole golf course, y'all. And you can't tell if this is Grand Rapids, Michigan, or this thing is gonna take you down some deadly ass waterfall. People were just caught off guard because of how quickly and how fast this thing happened, y'all. I told y'all within 2.5 hours, like parts of Arizona was completely flooded, and it's still happening right now, y'all. This is like a 2, maybe 3 day event. The whole desert is looking like a whole. Y'all notice they just keep making up these storms' name, calling them whatever they want now, right? Because they don't want to tell the truth that this is the great cleansing, the great separation. Y'all see it, y'all feel it. Let me know what you guys think about this video. Let's continue to get it. Peace out.
What I'm about to say is going to sound crazy, and I'm well aware. Just sit with me. So Israel is known to have female operatives that specifically infiltrate men's lives, and so they can use what they learn for blackmailing purposes. And Freemasonry is known for the members to sell their daughters to other members, either to other members or for the other members' sons. And the sons may or may not know that this is being orchestrated, but oftentimes they sell the daughter, and the daughter will just like turn 18, become of age, and meet a rich, nice man that she doesn't know it was pushed into her life and set up. So what if a member offered up his daughter, whether the daughter knew or not, and bought a son from another member to essentially orchestrate a relationship between the two and blend the fraternal organization's MO with the Israeli blackmail operative MO?
so they can then orchestrate what they want to orchestrate, both politically, socially, and among multiple foreign agencies. And they could do this without the daughter knowing, by guiding the relationship through familial ties. But if the daughter knew, it would be extremely beneficial, and they would have a lot of information about trust, emotions, the in-depth banking, all this stuff of the inner mind of somebody else. And if that boy that was sold suddenly started questioning things to the extent that he was about to uncover that his whole life was a lie, but his partner, operative, was able to realize that.
What is she saying?
No, I don't think he was truly aiming for the neck. Like, that's dumb. It's really dumb to even attempt to do that. You're going to aim for the head or for the chest. And I think in his case, just based on his rifle setup, his inexperience, his scope setup, I think he was aiming for the head and bullet went low. That's it. Some people say he had like a bulletproof vest on or something. I don't think he did, because you could see his paws. You could see his nipples through his shirt at one point as he's speaking. And unless that bulletproof vest had like nipples on it, I don't think he had nipples. And if it was body armor, it would have to be like hard plates. Soft plates, a bullet's not going to ricochet, hit that, and then go up to his neck. That's not happening. And even the way, if it was hard plates, like that's a 1 in a trillion shot to have it ricochet up into his neck. I think he was aiming for the head, inexperience, terrible shooting platform. I think it was a myriad of different things that played into that I think he was aiming for the head, and yeah, you just, it went low. I think for that round anyways, you're looking at about anywhere from 3 to 6 or 5 to 6, 5 to 8, 5 to 7 inches of drop if you zero it at 100 yards, which most rifles are zeroed at. And you don't compensate for that additional, because it was like a 200-yard shot. So at 100 yards, if you zero for that, at 200 yards, you got to compensate for gravity. And you're looking at about, let's say, rounded up to like a 6-inch drop from 100 yards zero. So if I do aim at the head, 6 inches down is going to be the neck. So I think it was just inexperience, lack of ballistic knowledge, and shooting platform, nervousness. But I don't think he intentionally tried to shoot the guy in the neck. That's a very, very risky shot, and so no one does that. No one does that.
I don't think enough people talk about how insane Andrew Jackson was. First of all, the dude was obsessed with dueling people. Reportedly, he did around 100 duels in his lifetime, which is just an insane survival rate when you're talking about guns and shooting people. He had an insane strategy for his duel with Charles Dickinson, who he knew was a great shot. He wore an overly large coat to try and hide where his body was, and purposely waited to shoot second so that he would have time to line up his shot. Charles shot him, and everybody thought that he missed because Andrew just stood there until finally shooting and killing Charles. The bullet actually barely missed Andrew's heart, and it got stuck in his chest and caused him to spit up blood for the next 39 years of his life. In fact, he had so many bullets stuck in his body for decades that coughing blood and pus was a normal thing for him. When he was 63 years old and had to use a cane to support his body, he was the first US president to ever experience an assassination attempt. Somehow he survived in the most bizarre way possible that if this was a movie plot, it would sound unrealistic. The assassin pulled out a pistol and his gun misfired, so he pulled out a second pistol and that one misfired too. Andrew then beat the assassin with his cane as he was tackled to the ground by other people. But I think the weirdest fact of all is that he had a pet parrot named Pole who he bought as a gift for his wife for $25. After his wife died, he kept taking care of the parrot who actually appeared at his funeral. It's reported that the parrot started yelling a bunch of profanities and had to be removed from Andrew Jackson's funeral for disturbing the guests that were trying to grieve.
Why do you think Elon avoids the whole conspiracy theory of the Jewish stuff?
He has to. Is like when you're that high up and you have that many government contracts, you get to a certain level of interacting with high status individuals, and there's just a lot of deals on the table all the time. There's a lot of kind of political wheeling and dealing, even when you're not trying to like, you know, score a clothing deal or like score some collaboration. You're just trying to exist, but you're like in this room full of all these very powerful people, and you realize that like that dude's like got interest in that, and that guy's got contracts for that, and like these people all have this money, and there's just all this stuff that those people have to consider. And Elon's whole like every one of his companies relies on government contracts. He's definitely read in on secrets that he can't talk about. So he just like, he's done more than enough by opening up X and maintaining free speech and holding the line despite his Auschwitz tour and his like little yarmulke shame session and everything. He's done a good job of holding the line on free speech.
Bro, I just realized that the pictures on our phones aren't real pictures. And what I mean by that is, okay, the word photo comes from photons, you feel what I'm saying? And photons is light, basically particles of light. Back then in the old school cameras, you know, the old school cameras where you used to have to take a picture and then the picture come out the thing, you have to do like that and wait for it to, you feel what I'm saying, treat. Those were real photos because they're actually capturing the photons from the sun, you feel what I'm saying, and imprinting it on an image, imprinting it on that piece of paper. But the photos that we get on our phone is taking those photons from the sun and it's electronically imitating them, which means it's making a code of a copy of it, you feel what I'm saying? But those not the actual photons. But when you look at a picture, it's an artificial recreation of the actual photons that were in there in that moment. And just so y'all don't think I'm just pulling something out my butt, read this. Photos are captured on an iPhone through a 3-step process involving a lens, an image sensor, and a software. The lens focuses light onto a digital image sensor, typically a CMOS sensor, which converts the light into an electrical signal. This raw data representing pixels of light and color information is then processed by the phone software to create a digital image file that can be stored or shared. Now, that you may not know what that means, but it's basically saying that it takes the light and recreates it in a digital way and stores it. And to show you that it's not the actual thing, it's just a reconstruction of it. Look, image reconstruction algorithm known as demosaicism algorithms are used to process the data and reconstruct it into a digital image file, which means it's creating a, like I said, but yeah, back to the other me. When we had those old cameras to where we take a picture and it grabs the light and it imprints it onto a piece of paper, we pick up those pictures, we're actually looking at the photons that came from the sun. So we're receiving more information from these old pictures because photons, light carries information. So that shows you that artificial things have been here way before AI, because we've been looking at artificial photos. It's the same thing when AI creates a generation of a person walking, but it's not a real person that never existed, you feel what I'm saying? It just take a whole bunch of information from people who have actually existed and putting it together to create somebody that doesn't exist to create an image. It's the same thing with the phone. The phone is taking a bunch of information from light that actually existed and creating something from light that doesn't exist, you feel what I'm saying? I'm not gonna say light that doesn't exist. I'm gonna say it's an artificially recreated image. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. You guys, Amari. Truth, love, do either this piece of holding, so she said they righteous, you feel what I'm saying?
Do you guys see what happened in Vegas? In the desert, they discovered 70 to 100 piles of cremated ashes.
Like they laid out 100 bodies and they just burnt them all.
Or they burned them and then dumped all the bodies throughout the desert.
That's
like ritualistic. That's weird.
Do they have any idea what it was?
No, so it happened in August. Passerby discovered dozens of piles of cremated human remains scattered along the dirt road in the Nevada desert, 50 miles outside of Las Vegas. As of September, no charges have been filed and authorities have not released further details.
I mean, like, sure, maybe there's gonna be like teeth or something where they can pull dental records.
It's actually illegal in Nevada to spread ashes.
Yeah, there's rules about that.
How do you even tell it's human? I mean, they probably tested it.
You can definitely test it.
Can you?
Yeah,
for sure.
No, yeah, you can definitely test that stuff.
Wait, Andrew's like, wait.
Start panicking.
I gotta go. 1 second. He comes back all just super ashy. I mean, I can't imagine how terrifying that would be to go out there and just.
Well, have you been to Vegas? That's horrible. Also, like, I'm just like not surprised.
Yeah.
You fly into Vegas and it's like desert city. You know they're doing shady stuff here.
100%.
This is not like the wholesome capital of the world.
No.
This was an ex-military guy that went in and released footage from a satellite. The satellite shows 3 orbs. It pulls up on the plane and starts swarming around in a vortex formation. Next thing you know, you see a pop. Plane vanishes. People say maybe the vortex and everything just poofed it and destroyed it and it just deleted it. Maybe they sent it to another timeline and let that timeline deal with it. Or they were sent to Diego Garcia. That's an island owned by, I shouldn't even be talking about this deep, by the CIA. And this is how we think and why people think they know that the plane went to Diego Garcia. So right when the plane vanishes, boom, they get transferred to Diego Garcia. I'm sure armed guards run up in that thing. They let everyone know the deal. It's over. We got what we need. This is for the greater good of humanity, so-called. And your loss of life is better for humanity than it would be if we kept it and you kept it pat.
They're still alive at this point.
At this point, they're still alive.
Oh, man.
Their phones, they were getting calls from family members. It just was not going through. So there were some phones that were ringing out to family members from that airline, but they couldn't answer. There were satellites and stuff on that island, but it just wouldn't fully connect you. So it's not like you're all the way offline where a call wouldn't go through, but it's kind of just shelled. So your phone's still on. Bad service. So if they got destroyed or they went into the ocean, their phone would just be nothing. There would be no ping. No service, no nothing. So they're getting these pings and they're not answering. This is the craziest thing of all time I'm about to show you. There's a picture. This picture's from someone claimed they were on this plane. This is a black picture. This picture right here was taken in a dark room, so it's not purely black. They took the metadata from that picture, the metadata. So you can, like, when someone takes a picture, you can get their geological location. When they took the picture, the metadata is Diego Garcia. And he's saying in this right here, I have been held hostage by military personnel after my flight was hijacked. I'm blindfolded. I work for IBM and I have managed to hide my cell phone in my ass during the hijack. I have been separated from the rest of the passengers and I am in a cell. My name is Philip Wood. I think I have been drugged as well and cannot think clearly. Philip Wood was on that flight.
Is anyone else on the side of TikTok that is seeing that everything is staged, everything's planned? There's a script. Israel wrote the script. Like, everything that we're seeing, all these tragedies, everything was already predetermined and planned. What's real and what's not, honestly, at this point, I have no idea. And I'm starting to feel like the Truman Show thing is even more real than I thought. Basically, like, I'm even seeing stuff that, like, the bad guys that we think are bad, like Tom Hanks and Oprah and all these bad people, that they're actually helping, just exposing what's really going on, and they themselves are not bad. Which I have no idea. I honestly don't know. I've gone down so many rabbit holes in the last 5 years. And so this book I'm reading, A New Earth, this is literally about the consciousness shift that's happening right now, and that's been, like, happening, but I think is going to peak next year, and especially 2027. I think that's what this book is about. Like, it's literally, this is what's happening in real time, like the split of consciousness. But anyway, what got my attention on this book and why I'm saying this, it says book Oprah's Club. Like, if Oprah's really the bad guy, if she's really this awful monster that all these rabbit holes would lead to, it's like, then why would she have a book about higher consciousness? I mean, it's not her book, but, like, I don't think anything's worth getting upset at this point with anything, because we don't know literally what's real. And I do feel like all of this is just, like, one big illusion, and the illusion's starting to break, and, like, I do feel we'll get answers, but, like, in the meantime, I just need to, like, be off my phone more, because honestly, there's...
Yeah, I think you're
I
right
have no
with
idea
that.
what's going on.
Kids, right now we're watching over 550 kids
in real time.
In real time. If they make I can show you right now what plane is flying over, speed, altitude, direction of travel, where they're going. Okay, everything right here is, the flight comes up, it tells you everything. It tells you what the plane is, where it's going. Live Google. This is a big, big deal. And I'm
What do you mean live Google?
So I'm going to show you right now. I can tell you where everybody is, what they're doing, and then I can also bring up, you know, any intersection I want in the county.
Okay.
Yo, how much did Nike like try to give you so that way you like get away from Jesus?
Oh, they try to give me 500 million.
500 million? They try to give you the KD contract? Was it a life deal?
Life deal. That's so crazy.
He ends up going to Benin, the western side of Africa, and it's basically known to be like the capital of voodoo.
Whoa.
And he gets given this list
That he has to get?
gets assigned to get these objects before he meets the actual voodoo priest, right?
Okay.
We continue with our very strange shopping list.
Is this hotel here? Oui, c'est ça,
This is Berna, the priest's son. He helps me with our shopping list.
That's it. That's our crockhead.
The main thing that I want to talk about, what he said, right? To us, it just seems like dried animals, dead animals, right? But each one has some sort of spirit inside of it, right?
Yeah.
When he talks about the dried owl, he says owls are tied to witches.
Which is true.
And it's believed that the witches could turn into owls, so that ritual that you could perform with that dried owl is to basically ward witches away.
Berna finds us the next item on our list.
Barn owl. That's our azehe. They believe that witches turn into birds, and that if you use a potion with witches, can keep witches away. So birds are used to get evil spirits like witches away from you, and that's why we've got this owl. A very important part for getting rid of evil spirits.
And it reminded me of lechuzas, which, as we know in Mexican folklore, Mexican culture, witches are known to shapeshift into lechuzas, which are owls, bro. This is how you know shit is not bullshit. If people are saying the same shit, think about it, bro. This is in Africa. Where we hear about it is Mexico.
Possibility there's a Jeffrey Epstein walking around that we don't know who it is?
Is it possible that Jeffrey Epstein didn't die in his cell?
It was told by someone who, and this is probably ridiculous, but they said there is a possibility that Epstein is, Les Wexner's got that big house in Ohio. Somebody said it's a possibility, a tiny one, that he's living at Les Wexner's house in Ohio.
If that was true, there would be a service that delivers masseuses.
Of course.
There's no way that guy's stopping
They'll
doing
shut their
creepy
mouth.
shit.
I was an airline pilot for Delta for 26 years. A pilot's primary flight instrument is his artificial horizon, which he has to be maintained level to keep from climbing and descending. From a cockpit, weather permitting, I could see hundreds of miles in all directions, viewing cities connected by roads across the flat plain as far as the eye could see.
A pilot is flying around the curve of the Earth, then he should be dipping the nose down every 5 minutes. He should be dipping the nose down to stay around the curve. That's absolute proof that a plane flies over a flat surface rather than a curved one. But I went to the manufacturer of the artificial horizon, and they confirmed to me that it's completely mechanical. Nothing electronic in it whatsoever. So it's literally just a gyroscope that can freely move. When you go onto the plane tracking software, we'll see hundreds and hundreds of flights over the northern hemisphere, and you can track those flights from beginning to end. When you look at any flight in the southern hemisphere, what you'll find is the flight takes off and disappears off the tracking.
Oh my God. A statue of Jeffrey Epstein and Donald Trump holding hands and lifting their leg up has been placed near the National Mall in Washington, D.C. There are 3 plaques on this statue. The one in the middle is celebrating National Friendship Month, Donald Trump and his closest friend, Jeffrey Epstein. And the other plaques are allegedly the letters that they exchanged between each other. People are clearly frustrated about the Epstein files, but I have so many questions. Who put this up there? Who has the money to put a statue up like this? How do they do it without anyone seeing? Is it even allowed to put up public statues? And if it is, if you take it down, is it a violation of the First Amendment? This is...
What we'll say is that if somehow Charlie did not get an autopsy, this would be the first time in the history of the world that a person who was assassinated didn't even get an autopsy. This will be the first situation in the world that have ever happened. And you will get me to come back on here and I will make a video explaining how bizarre it would be and that I would lose faith in this investigation if somehow, which would be unprecedented, never heard of, and the first time in American history that somebody gets murdered and assassinated and they do not do an autopsy. If they don't do an autopsy, then how do they know how he was shot, what angle he was shot? How would they know any of those things? Now, if you don't do an autopsy, then when you go to court, the killer can say, I didn't shoot him. Therefore, the gun that was used will not match the bullet that they found in his body. And therefore, the forensics will be off and they will have no charges against him other than circumstantial evidence, which will be very difficult to prove if they didn't do an autopsy. They would literally have to throw the case out if they didn't do an autopsy and determine the cause of death and determine what round he got shot with. So I'm just saying this to say, if somehow they didn't do an autopsy, I will come on here and I will be an advocate to believe that this is a cover-up. But until then, it does not seem that this is the case. So just take your time, ask a police officer to verify these things. And anyway, I just had to throw that out there real quick.
You can die peacefully now. Face of the woman in Tom and Jerry. The Teletubbies' baby son, all grown up.
We're getting old, y'all.
Ving Diesel. With hair. The first video posted on YouTube. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles without masks. The first photo posted on Instagram. The first McDonald's in history. A Smurf without its hat. The first video posted on TikTok.
The worst year.
Man, it's a quiet day today. I don't got nowhere to come in and throw my jabs. Hopefully in the last 21 minutes I can give you guys some knowledge or something, but there just hasn't been nothing that's caught my attention to be like bam, bam, bam. I apologize for all the ones that love to hear me talk, and the ones that don't love to hear me talk, y'all better hit that like.
Human history was year 536 AD.
Oh.
Okay. There was a volcano that erupted in Iceland that ended up making the sky dark around the entire world, or the recorded world, Europe, Asia, Africa, dark for an entire year from this cloud of how big
An entire year?
An entire year. Like, to where all these different nations recorded that year of like the sun gave off light like the moon.
Oh my gosh.
Like, it gave off no warmth, and the global temperature dropped 15 degrees within that year. And so there was mass famine.
Yeah.
It was like recorded in China that it was snowing during the summer.
Oh my gosh.
Sounds like you're just describing Portland at this point. Like,
No, but they called it like the year of darkness. But what that did was, with the famine and all that stuff, all the rats would come in because it was so cold outside. They would come into homes. That ended up leading to the bubonic plague.
No way.
It was like the first recorded plague was from the result of this volcano going off in Iceland.
This is from 1919. It says skeleton of giant discovered, Mexico City.
The fossilized remains of a giant measuring
Mexico's
32
crazy,
feet 10
y'all.
inches in height were, according to report, recently discovered by workmen in the state of Veracruz. So in Veracruz, Mexico, according to a report in 1919, they found a 32-foot 10-inch long.
That's insane.
France, I have found one here. A report. Now this report is from 1613, but basically a prehistoric giant about 25 feet in length in a megalithic burial. And so when you see all the megalithic stones that are still standing in France that are like, I don't know, 30, 40 feet tall, some of these like a singular
100-ton
stone.
stones.
Yeah. And but plus they're sunk down in the ground so they don't ever fall. And then you hear reports like this. It's like, okay, this is making sense, right? You had very big people.
Y'all ever
Like the universe, Earth is like billions of years old, right? Now they tell us humans have been walking this Earth, let's just say 100,000 years. But the Earth is billions of years old. So that's like in 100,000 compared to how old the Earth is, that's like a day. For a day we've been walking the Earth. I bet there's some crazy, crazy things in that ocean. Because we all know land becomes ocean, ocean becomes land, like a constant restart, I think. And I think we've been around for millions of years. But I think there's some crazy things in them oceans.
Girl who went viral for cleaning graves on TikTok. At first it looked harmless. She was just tidying up old tombstones, reading the names, talking about how long they've been gone. Kind of wholesome, right? But then it got darker. She started bringing flowers to people she never knew. And when she found children's graves with stuffed animals, she actually took the toys home, washed them, restored them, and brought them back. Some people said it was sweet, but others called it disturbing. And here's where it flipped. Her video started showing some things she couldn't explain. One night, flowers suddenly fell out of a vase by themselves. In another clip, she left a shovel in the dirt and it moved on its own. You can hear her laugh nervously, but the comments were blowing up with "stop now" and "you don't know what you're messing with." So what is this really? A kind-hearted hobby that just looks creepy, or someone playing with energy she doesn't understand? Because at some point, restoring toys and fixing graves crosses over into something else. Would you keep watching, or would you tell her to stop before something follows her home?
I mean, I think that's just, she did it once, got a lot of views. That's her job. She's getting paid to do that. That's why she's doing it. She ain't thinking about energy or nothing. She's like, I'm trying to get paid off this. You know what I mean? That's what happened with that one. That sucks that it went viral and you're cleaning graves. That's why we say be careful what you do, because there's those people that they do like make a crazy drink of alcohol and chug it, and that goes viral. And guess what? That's what you're stuck doing. Like me, I wish I can, on this channel, I wish I can go out there and hike for an hour-long video and just talk to you guys how I talk to you on here, but it'll get 20 views, right? I gotta stick to these TikTok type reactions. I can't come on here and make a TikTok reaction of a funny, fails type of TikTok reaction, because you guys won't watch it. I'll get some people in here that'll say they'll watch it, but it won't get 30,000 views. It'll get 500 if I'm lucky. So that's what she did, and that's what she's got to stick to. You know what I mean? But there's those people that, do something crazy, and that's kind of what they got to stick to. You got to stick to drinking alcohol, getting drunk on every video. So when you're gonna take this journey, think wisely. Like, whatever works. Like, TikTok wasn't what I wanted to do in the beginning. I wanted to do keto eating videos, trail running, workout videos, full days of eating, grocery hauls. That's what I first started doing. I stumbled across these TikToks. It worked. So that's what I stuck with. But I wish I can go on the mountain and go on a 5-mile hike with you guys and just talk life. Nobody wants to see that, unfortunately.
Tea. I bet you thought I was drinking tea, but this glass is empty. You see that? There was no tea in there. And this isn't my hand. These are my hands. That's not real at all. You see, you're being lied to. You're being lied to. I bet you thought this was me, but no, this is just a reflection. This was all taking place on a mirror. It was all a mirror. It was all a lie. And I bet you thought I was wearing pants. I'm not wearing pants. And this isn't even my voice. I dubbed this over in post-production. And you're being lied to. This is all taking place on a screen, and you are being lied to. You're being lied.
When you walking around with 7 and 8 bodyguards, who's why so much fucking security? Back in the day when we was in the real Hollywood, when I was living in the real Hollywood, no way, it wasn't all of that. We didn't need all the security and shit. You see John Travolta, you see John Travolta. You know, you go to New York, you see Jim Carrey on a train, Jim Carrey on a train. That's the real Hollywood. Like, we don't need all of that. But when you walking around with 7 and 8 bodyguards, whose wife are you? Why we can't get close as a people to your motherfucking ass? What you doing that you ain't supposed to be doing?
Okay, let him explain it.
Yeah,
Let him
Rob,
explain
it's
it. Go
true.
ahead.
You can tell me this, but if you take nothing else away from this video, you need to see this.
And in that video, you can see the same, what appears to be the bullet coming down, and it does line up with the actual gunshot itself. So not coming gang violence. Great.
Boom.
Saw that?
So this video was created by a friend of mine who is a Marine. You'll see him here at the end. This is the angle he is showing the shot coming from, showing where Charlie was sitting, and the angle of the shot, which will correspond with this video here, which unfortunately we will blur out Charlie's face, but we will show what is necessary to prove that this was an entry and exit wound. Wow. So you'll see him circle the highlighted area right there, and you'll see the exit wound corresponding after, split second after, as it would from an entry and exit wound. So in this footage, you can clearly see that Charlie is shot from his back right,
Guys, pause
and
it.
there's
Just
blood.
want to let you guys know it's a little bit of it is graphic.
A little graphic.
So, but keep going. If you're able to take it, I want to watch a little bit through for you to kind of hear this. Keep going.
You know, there's one thing I would say about that you can't fake, right? Now, I don't know if he got shot from behind, whatever, but one thing on those clips when that first came out and regular people were filming, I don't know if they're still on here. When that shot went off, everybody turned around towards that roof in back of him that was facing him. You know what I mean? Like, those are instincts you can't fake that I don't see no one talk about. Like, when a gunshot goes off, what do? You don't look the opposite way. You look at where it came from. You hear it, right? You hear, like, they shot from behind. Everyone turned around and looked, and then they all took off running. I don't know, though. It's not my place to really talk. Honestly, I haven't really dove into this. When this was going on, I was out in San Diego, so I didn't have the chance to dive into it. And then now I just haven't honestly dove into it. But I know that one thing, when I was watching those clips, when that shot went off and he got shot, everybody turned around towards that roof in back of him, right?
You need to leave now. I'm telling you right now. I'm going to let them out.
Shit,
it's
I would have
midnight.
let him out.
What are you doing here? Leave now. It's midnight. We're not playing any more games. You are educating my dogs. I told you late at night my guard dogs are out, and they're out. I'm not going to be babysitting. You broke into the property at 3 in the morning. They're going to come out. You need to leave now. You need to leave now. I'm letting them out. Don't come any closer. I'm going to let them out. I'm going to let them out. They're here and they're waiting. I'm going to leave. The police has been looking for 4 days now. There's no one around. This is my place. I don't know where you're coming from. I don't know where you're coming from.
I just came to bless you.
I'm letting my dogs out.
Don't do that.
It's scary when you're out there in the middle of nowhere, y'all. Now she's gone. Fuck that. Can you imagine?
What the hell?
This girl dips her hand into water of the same temperature at which Titanic passengers were drowning, and she was able to hold it there only 8 seconds. This water was specially collected from the very place where the Titanic sank and is on display in a museum dedicated to the ship. And in this unique museum, with the help of modern technologies, you, in the literal sense, will be able to feel what the Titanic passengers experienced. But the main exhibit is this bucket of water, and if you can keep your hand in it for at least 2 minutes, then you will be paid $10,000. But almost no one can keep their hand in this icy water for even 20 seconds. And now imagine what experienced people, who hours waited for help after that Titanic went to the bottom. Obviously, that most of them did not endure in this water even 15 minutes and simply froze. But the most frightening, that at the crash site of the Titanic mysterious events are still happening. For example, there every 6 years comes mysterious signal SOS, the same one that was sent on that fateful night more than 100 years ago, as if the passengers of the Titanic were calling for help. But when the rescue vessel arrived at the location of the signal, it found nothing but except endless Atlantic Ocean. By the way, in TikTok recently uploaded video recording made on Titanic when it was sinking, and you can see it yourself, typing in search last minutes of Titanic.
Did you hear about that lady that stole like 50 million?
You're talking about this lady who worked for the state of Illinois.
Yes, her.
Yeah, so she worked for the Treasury Department in the state of Illinois, and she ran this scheme to where she was stealing from the state. Here's how she got caught. The state has 6 bank accounts. She created a new bank account, a 7th bank account, that said sewer, drainage.
Something that sounds boring.
Something that sounds official.
Mm-hmm.
It had something to do with the sewer lines, right?
Okay.
Cool. She makes that. So she siphons off into that account, and she does it for over 20 years.
20 years.
20 years. She's siphoning off, right? So what's she doing? She starts buying horses and RVs. She bought a $2 million RV.
Oh, she was balling.
She bought a house,
Splurging.
Another house. She bought over 300 horses because she was like, equestrian, like the horse shows and all that.
Rockstar shit.
Yeah. Furs, minks, and all that stuff. She was going crazy. So she bought 300 horses though over the course of yes, over the course of 20 years, right? She siphoned off, I believe it was $40 million. $40 million.
So nobody's noticed the Lamborghinis and the fur coats and the fucking all the fly shit, the private jets she was flying.
She had to go out of town for a horse show, right? So she had a substitute in there.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what happened was this substitute was doing her regular thing and something came across her desk. It was like an error. So she calls the bank, says, hey, I need some records. Something's wrong. And, I have to work these numbers. So like, oh, okay, cool. What records do you need? I don't know. Just send all of them. So mind you, there's 6 bank accounts.
Uh-oh.
Okay? They send over 7.
Dun, dun, dun.
Right? So they send over 7. She's like, wait a minute. We don't have 7. We have 6.
Yeah.
So she looks into that account. It's like, we don't have a sewer fund. So then she starts doing the paper trail. Right?
Horses, mansions.
And then they link it all back to old girl. And what happened was they started investigating. 6 months later, boom, she gets hemmed up. Turns out she steals $40 million. She has 300 horses.
God,
she has all this stuff.
Sheesh.
And she gets busted and does, I believe it was like 30 years in jail or something like that.
Imagine how many other people have been doing this in our government.
Right. That's what I mean when it comes
to 20 years.
When it comes to corruption and everything else. Yeah, she was doing it over 20 years.
Imagine.
Yeah.
There's people walking around right now. Could be your neighbor. Because I see a lot of people in the streets. I'm like, how the fuck you got 3 Lamborghinis?
Yeah, like, what are you doing?
Like, bro, what are you doing? You ask them what they're doing, and they say some bullshit. It's like, bro, that doesn't even make sense.
Yeah, I sell garage doors.
Yeah, I'm like, bro, what are you got to be the fucking Michael Jordan of garage doors, bro.
Right, that's what I'm saying. So, like, are you really, or are you doing something else? The state level, the federal level, like, there's a lot of corruption.
And that 48, I think that was just a small town, right? It wasn't even, or was it Washington, D.C.? I missed that in the beginning, but can you imagine what these top dogs are doing that have that get out of jail free pass? What they're doing? They go in with $100,000 a year, position and leave with $100 million net worth, and they get away with it scot-free. I don't see no one getting busted yet, Trump. I'm just saying. I don't see no one getting busted. Sorry.
The majority of children who are being sold for sleep in their own beds at night, and their parents don't even know that it's happening.
How do they grab a kid? Just because I'm curious. I don't want to go deeper down the rabbit hole. I have little kids.
This is where the modeling agency came in. They would go around to towns, poor areas, and say, hey, your daughter's too pretty to be working in the field. She should be a model. Have her come to this photo type thing, and they would bring him in, similar to what we depicted in the movie. This was their plan. And it was going to cost 10 times that amount, $25,000 to bring in an American girl. Usually those kids are coming from broken homes, runaways, a broken foster care program.
That's from America.
From the U.S.
And they get smuggled into Colombia?
There's kids that are taken everywhere. There's such a broken system that nobody's looking for. There's such a high percentage of the kids who are in the foster care program who disappear that nobody looks for them.
You have done.
There are lots of things that I respect about her. I think that she knows how to work the business like nobody I've ever seen before. And There's something about her that I don't like. She's mean. I don't like that. I mean, I remember having her over to my house a couple of times because Sean and I were friends, and she just was so rude to everybody. It seems to me that she's got so much that she doesn't have to act the way that she acts, like a spoiled brat all the time. And it seems to me when you reach the kind of acclaim that she's reached and can do whatever you want to do, you should be a little bit more magnanimous and a little bit less of a...
This video is believed to be the scariest video on the internet right now. I'm gonna play the video for you and then I'll give you some context. Nothing seems out of the ordinary, right? Wrong. All three of these girls are in the car, they're eating together, and they're waiting to meet up with another friend. The two girls in the front seat are texting the other friend. The other friend who is not in the car is telling them that she's about to meet up with them, but she's bringing the girl who's in the back seat. They're going back and forth with their other friend who's not in the car about how they have the girl who's in the back seat with them, but the friend who isn't there says she's with her. So now everybody's freaked out because who the heck is the girl in the back seat? The girl who's not in the car is wondering who she's with. Is this something ghostly, something paranormal, a glitch in the Matrix? We don't know. And I don't think we're ever going to get the answer.
What do you think? What is your favorite movie we're watching right now?
Bad Guys 2.
What? Good Guys 2. You should see. How do you tell if this is the double mirror? That one?
No.
What? Oh, shush.
No.
What do you mean, what? Stop. Are you kidding me right now? Hold this. I swear to God. Record this, because if this is... Wait.
No. Wait, is there someone behind there?
Oh my God, we're not on it right now.
No.
There's a camera.
The camera?
There's one last dragon. There is one Giodora. It's from space. He's an alien that came down here to fight, and then he got frozen, and they're saying it's because of the ice age. And so that's why they're like so upset about global warming, because they know if that dragon thaws out, because what happens in the Bible? A dragon thaws out and he takes over the world. What happens in every single culture? There's dragons on every single civilization on this planet has a picture of a dragon.
So you're saying Republicans want to melt the ice to release the dragon?
Yes, because they're lizards.
Whoa.
That's why they don't want us remaking dinosaurs.
Yeah.
That's why they keep trying to put out this propaganda about Jurassic Park. They're all going to eat us, but no, they helped us fight them, the Bigfoots, the Yetis. Like we all got together. We all spoke one language. You think I'm crazy? You think I'm lying?
No, I agree with you.
There are pyramids that go directly in Egypt that line up with Orion's belt, right?
Yes.
Orion's belt. They line up with Orion's belt, which is a white dwarf, which is made out of diamonds. And you need diamond and gold to travel in space, right? So interdimensional travel, they will put a diamond in there to go up there. So I think the fight happened where they broke the treasure, because if you think about Orion's belt, who is Orion the hunter, who's Orion Hunter fight? The bull. But if you really take a good drawing of the bull that has a red eye, it looks like a dragon. Instead, they just drew it like a Taurus to say like, oh, this is Taurus, but it's a dragon. Orion was fighting the dragon with his two dogs, but I think there were actually dinosaurs that beat the dragon, and that's why they don't have interdimensional travel. But if you think, even if you line up when the Anunnaki were supposed to be on this planet, if you line up when the Anunnaki was supposed to be on the planet, and you Google the distance it takes to get light years away, it's the exact same time. They only came here for gold, because gold is the only metal that does not
but what do they need the gold for?
To build the satellite. That's why we use gold for everything. That's why gold will never have a standard. That's why there's no more gold that can ever be made. They go to planets and they try to have this dimensional travel, but then the dragon came over from the red giant, Canis Major, flew over to there, came down to America with these octopus and raccoons and a dragon, and they tried to take us over, but with the dinosaurs' help.
You're saying we need the dinosaurs.
We need them.
So we need Jurassic Park.
That's what I'm saying. We need Jurassic Park.
No.
The Democrats know.
That's what I'm saying.
You know what I mean? But they try to keep us
me autistic for liking dinosaurs.
Exactly.
Even though they're our best friends.
Yes. Why do autistic kids automatically know to love dinosaurs? People have to tell you not to like dinosaurs. They have to make a horror movie out of it.
They tell me every day. And you know what I say?
you.
Yeah, show me a horror movie with a dragon in it. What do we use dinosaurs for right now? Gasoline. Why are we in war in the Middle East?
Gasoline.
Because they know if we dig up the remains and we find out what happens. It's like you can't go to the pyramids because they don't want. They know how to decipher the hieroglyphics. They don't want to tell us that it's all about this dragon. Meanwhile, they're trying to heat up the planet, burning the fossil fuels, which are dinosaurs, to heat up the planet.
To let the dragon go. So the dragon can rule us because they're the lizard
So
people
then-
and they
but-
worship the dragon.
My whole life changed today.
Yeah, good.
I'm glad I came on this religious podcast.
Like, how crazy was that we fell for that fossil fuels were dead dinosaurs, and that's the oil we're getting to fill up our vehicles to make everything around us. We're using the remains of fossils and dinosaurs. We're running out. We gotta change. We gotta change some policies. We need more money because we're running out of dinosaur fossils and bones and whatever. Like, that's crazy. They still call it fossil fuels, but isn't that crazy that like our parents fell for that? You probably sent money over from taxes. This damn government, man.
Sorry, reigns.
When these rappers get killed, not incidental. Somebody made $100 million and now don't have to talk to that artist
water.
or none of their crew. Don't have to validate none of their contracts. Now only got to deal with the mama. Only got to see her once a year, and it's over. And the money goes up and up and up. So they killed this $20 million guy, but they reaped $60 million in benefits.
Doug, she's Pete Davidson. Listen, let me show you. Watch. All right, watch. Watch how quickly. Okay, here we go. Okay. She doesn't smile. She's the sad girl. Oh, I'm so sad. You want to know why? Because when she smiles,
I'll find Charles. Nice work.
she's secretly Pete Davidson the whole time.
Charlie Kirk was a hologram. Y'all, check it out. Check it out. See the fence? See them fence lines? Fence line in his arm, going across, fence line coming up. Y'all, look closely. Look closely. You can see the fence through his arm. Y'all, we've seen this in other things that we've watched. We've watched them do it. This is a movie. Charlie is a character. Snake Eyes told you that. This was planned for a long time. But look, people, you can see the fence through his arm. So you people coming out here with the holograms and y'all talking about it, he's a projection, he's a hologram. I believe you're right. I believe, y'all, there's too many eyes on this. They're letting us see these things. There's no way they're going to let that get out there. But look at that. You can see through his arm. What do y'all think? What do y'all think, man? What?
What is this? It's not normal.
Just give me a second. Do you hate babies and puppies too?
It's getting worse. This is clip.
Give me my baby joy.
And this clip from Ellen's show.
You
Watch
like
this.
cheese pizza? I do like cheese pizza. Well, you just said you don't like cheese pizza. That isn't cheese pizza. I wanted some from Pizza Hut.
Maybe he knows,
He'll like it.
but he's
You're
just a
gonna eat it,
kid,
you're
right?
gonna like it. Now listen.
And this is one of the worst.
We've had pizza. Girl after my own heart. Do we love a pizza or what? We love a pizza. It's so good. So much fun. Now, someone did.
I should do it more. And Aniston will say to me in the middle of the night whenever I'm with her.
So my concern is why they are so much obsessed with pizza. I can't say it here, but you can say it in the comments. Don't forget to share your thoughts in the comment box below.
I think I'm crazy, but as I was walking down the Superstition Mountains, I had looked to my side, and it looked like this humanoid thing, like crawling up the rocks on all four, and it was like, I can't really explain it, but I had to take a double look, like I saw it in the corner of my eye, and when I looked back, there was nothing there. I don't know. This place is always weird when I come here. I'm just trying to find my my way back down. I have quite a bit of way back down. I'm going to turn on the spirit box and see if we can get anything to come through.
All right, family. There you have today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you made it this far, y'all know what to do. Like, comment, subscribe. Got some things to do, y'all. Got some things to do. Segovia's been... I haven't really been. It's just been ugly weather. It's been ugly weather lately. Dust storms, rain. It rained bad last night. I need to clean up, right? I got spider webs out there. I went outside last night and there was 2 big spiders, like where my dogs go by the doggy door and all that. I got to go trim this tomato plant. That's what's going to get done right now. I'm going to go get all that done. At least trim that tomato plant and get rid of spider webs. That's the plan right now. So I hope everyone's weekend has been great. I'm going to see you guys on Monday on the next one, which is tomorrow already. Quick weekend, right? Quick weekend. This is Segovia. I'm signing out of the man cave. I'm going to see you guys tomorrow on the next one. Y'all have a good Sunday evening. Later.